Yes, Subhash Garu. Let's start with self-introduction.
Yeah, so actually, this is Subhash. So as you can see from my resume, I've been working as a Microsoft Dynamics CRM consultant for the last 4 years. Out of 4 years, I have pretty good experience, CRM customization, like customizing the business rules and workflows. I also implemented some plugins and JavaScript to do some out of the validations. And currently, I'm working on a project called hospital management. Where I'm responsible for enhancing the enhancing the project complexity like automating the workflows, automating doctor appointments, uh, uh, and automating patient workflows, where patients can, bill is generated automatically and incremented depending on the bill ID and. So this is about a little bit about my project, and I have a very good experience working with workflows, plugins, JavaScript, business rules, and out of the most customization. So this is a bit about my
Yeah.
experience.
Okay, so your voice is a bit low. Please speak loudly.
Okay.
And have you worked on the plugins?
Oh yes, so actually recently used the plugins, implemented plugins for a few of the customization in hospital management. So recently one plugin I did was, I implemented a plugin to avoid duplicate appointment creation. So whenever there was a combination of patient and doctor appointments, I implemented a plugin to make sure that the patient doesn't create another appointment within the uh, uh, future dates using the combination of appointment date, doctor and patient.
So how much do you rate yourself in the plugins out
I
of
think
10?
I would rate around 7 out of 10.
And how about JavaScript? How much do you rate?
Same thing. I would rate myself as a 7 on JavaScript.
And Power Apps topics like Power Automate flows
Power Automate flows would be 7.5 out of 10.
and Power Portals.
Our portals around 6.5.
Okay, so have you worked on the business rules?
Yes, I have implemented a couple of business rules.
So what is the purpose of business rule? Can you just explain?
So business rules are used to implement. It's like a no-code tools we use. So we can do some basic validations on the form.
Hmm.
Business rules like display error message and
Hmm.
uh, set business required. So these are the few things we can do with business rules.
Okay. So let's say, have you worked on the JavaScript?
Oh yes, I would say yes.
So can you just give me the one of the real-time scenario where you have implemented JavaScript recently in your project?
Hello.
Yes, Andy.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
So actually, I implemented JavaScript to retrieve multiple. So I used in one case I populated the parent child phone number. So whenever there was an update on the customer patient record phone number, I use that reference to update the child records phone numbers using the JavaScript.
Hmm.
I use the retrieve multiple functions, where I was getting the patient information from one entity called patients, and the doc I updated the patient bills and patient bills using the updated the phone number on the patient bills from the phone number on the patient. So patient was the parent entity and the patient bill was the child entity here.
So what are the like events available in the JavaScript?
Sorry.
What are all the events available in the JavaScript? What kind of events available?
So we have three different types of events available in the JavaScript. One is onload, onsave, and onchange. Onload is we can change. Onload is whenever the form is loaded, and the onchange is whenever there is change in the field, we can trigger the JavaScript. And
Hmm.
onload is onsave. Where we can save the we can trigger the JavaScript when we can save the when there is a save on the form.
Can you just give me the steps how to add JavaScript events? What is the process do you follow?
Yes. What we need to do is, first we need to write the code. We can write the code using any of the file of our choice. So I have used the Notepad++ to create the JavaScript using the JavaScript format. Then I have we need to upload the script into the uh, web resources in the CRM. And once we upload the page, we need to save and publish all the customization so that the JavaScript form will script will be available on the CRM. Once we upload the script, what we can do is we can add the form to the corresponding entity uh, depending on the requirement. What if there is a field that we need to say we need to add that form to that corresponding entity using the execution. We need to pass, and also we need to pass the execution parameter as a primary reference.
Okay. So yeah, so let's say, can you just give me the syntax? I wanted to set visibility of the field. Can you just give me the syntax by using JavaScript?
Yes, so the syntax would be form context dot get control and set disable equal to true.
Okay, and set disabled equals true, not visibility, right? It's for the read only.
Yes, yeah.
So I'm asking about the visibility, form visible, field visibility. So
Context dot get attribute set field value equal to true.
set visibility equals to true. Yeah. So how many types of forms are there in CRM?
We have three forms. One is a main form, one is a quick view form, and another is a quick create form.
So what is purpose of each one of them?
The main form is the one where we can see all the information of the entity, all the corresponding fields are related to that entity. And the quick view form is used to know display the information of the parents entity on the child form, child entity. And quick create is used to know quickly create a form without moving from the current form.
Okay. Do you know about auditing in the CRM?
Yes, I do.
Can you just give me the steps how we can use it or configure?
Uh, so in order to enable the auditing, what we need to do is we need to in the CRM we need to go to the uh, entity, the main form, and in the entity, the main form, we have something called enable auditing, where we need to checkbox that enable auditing field and save it. And once that feature is enabled, we can see the auditing is enabled for all that uh, fields in that entity.
Mhm. So at system level, we need to enable first, right?
Oh
Then
yes,
after entity
the
level, then
system level.
after
So
field level.
yeah.
So let's say, is auditing accessible by uh,
Yes,
all
yes.
users in the system? Let's say I have enabled one of the entity for auditing. Let's say account entity enabled for auditing. So I have multiple employees and the non-admin users, like let's say business users. Will they able to access the audit data?
No, they cannot.
So what kind of permissions required to provide auditing for
They,
them?
we need to give them the view, create, and update permission so that on the form on that entity so that they can see that all the fields.
The entity they have access, full access they have. At entity
Okay.
level, they have the full access, but they wanted to see the audit history. Will they able to see or not? If not, what kind of, let's say the user is having one of the security role, salesperson security role, and account for account
Okay.
entity, they do have the read, update, write access.
Okay.
So will they able to see audit history?
Uh, yes, if they have the read addresses, they would be able to see the audit system. Yes.
Yeah. So similar, after the interview, you try to practically validate Okay. So we'll be able to see for Bajaj Electronics, we created some users, right? With the
Oh, yes.
non-admin user, you see if you're able to see the audit history. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
And can you just give me the implementation steps for the plugin?
Oh, yes, sir. So first we need to take a C class library. The CAS file in the Visual Studio. Then we need to rename that class library to a relevant name. Uh, with the, we can use we need to use appropriate name for a plugin. And once that is done, we need to get the code, the reference code for the IP execution context from that, and we need to update that form. Once the code is updated, we need to implement our logic using try catch blocks. And
So,
the-
hmm,
yes, sir.
so what is the plugin pipeline stages available in CRM?
We have pre-validation, pre-operation, and post-operation.
So the purpose of each one of them.
Pre-validation using pre-validation plugin executes. So if we need to check for any validation like our privileges, and pre-operation plugin executes before the data is saved for the plugin, and the post-operation plugin executes after the data is saved.
Post operation execute after data is saved.
Yes.
Okay. So can you have you ever implemented any complex plugin in your project? What is the complex plugin have you implemented in your career?
Hello. Sorry,
No.
sir. Can you come again, sir?
So what is the most complex plugin you have implemented in your project?
So I would say one of the most complicated plugin I implemented was for one of the doctor appointments where the I was not able to. I had some issue with the time syntax, so I had to convert the time date format into Indian standard syntax and uh, implement that plugin.
Hmm. Okay, fine. So how do you debug a plugin?
We have different methods to debug a plugin. First one is we can use try catch blocks where we can implement our logic in the try catch. And the second one is we can use the tracing method where we can use the trace logs. And also we have something called a plugin profiler that we can use to validate the plugin, debug the plugin.
So plugin profiler, can you just give me the steps?
Yes. So first we need to open the XRM toolbox, and we need to go to the corresponding plugin. And on that plugin we have something called install plugin profiler. Once we install a plugin profiler, we need to go to the corresponding entity and save the record again. So once the record is saved, we have something. If the plugin throws error, we have something called error log file that will be downloaded. Once the download file is downloaded, we need to upload that file into the plugin code that we have written using the corresponding title process. So where we have to again once that file is uploaded into that plugin, we can use the debugging tool debugging to debug that file plugin.
Hmm. Okay. So we do have the components like workflows and plugins and Power Automate flows, right?
Yes.
So if we have a requirement, which one do you choose and which component do you use for which purpose? Can you just give me at high level?
Plugins, workflows, and
Power Automate flows.
Power Automate. Okay. So I think workflows, what we can do is if there is some if we workflows is a out of the box component, but that we can use whenever there is a no complex logic involved, and whenever there is a basic logic involved, we can use a workflow. And if something is not possible with that workflow and something if we need to implement something complex, more complex, then we need to go for plugin. Uh, because with workflow we cannot implement a complex logic. Uh,
Hmm.
and Power Automate flows we can use whenever we
Yeah, so in between your voice is breaking. Can you just speak loudly
when
and closer to the
we need
mic?
to update the child records based on the parent records, we can use Power Automate external resources like Google Sheets or Access.
So can you hear me,
Hello,
Subhash? Is my voice clear? Subhash, your voice is breaking in between.
hello.
Yeah, can you check your network once? Your voice is breaking in between.
Sir, actually, yeah, the thing is, it's a little bit rainy over here. That's the network
Mhm.
fluctuating.
Okay.
The
So
weather is
what you
not
have
good.
to answer for this question actually, so you have to answer in a way like if you have any wait condition or if you want to send any reminder emails, so we have to go with
Okay,
the workflow, which is not possible with the plugin. And that is how you can say. And the other one, if you have any pre-image, post-image concepts, or and the workflow is having limited triggering actions, create, update, status change. If you have any requirement on the retrieve multiple, we have to go with the plugin. Since workflow, it is not possible. And the last one,
okay,
if you have any integration requirements, so workflows and plugins are not possible. It's a possible, maybe required some custom additional logic. So instead, we
okay.
can go with the Power Automate flows with out-of-the-box connectors.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay, sir.
So how can we manage the errors in Power Automate flows? How do we do
Uh,
error handling in Power Automate flows?
we have something called scope blocks in for automate place, where we can use that scope block to implement the try catch,
Hmm.
try in one block and the catch in one block. And after these two, we can implement the if the condition is successful or failure.
Do you have like what is the concurrency control?
Uh, I'm not sure, sir.
So do you have experience with Canvas apps?
A little bit, sir.
So what kind of controls we have in the Canvas apps?
Uh, we have different controls like input controls, display controls, gallery controls.
Hmm. And what kind of variables do we have?
We have global variable and context variable. I'm not wrong. Yeah.
So can you just give me the syntax to set global variable?
Yeah. Global variable we can use the set equal to variable name comma uh, on the screens. And for context variable, we can set using set context equal to the variable name.
So what is difference between both? What is global variable? What is
The
context variable?
global variable, I think we can use across all the different screens that we have in the app.
Hmm.
Uh, and coming to context variable, it is used for temporary controls, like temporary holding the temporary values, and it is
Hmm.
passing the values between screens temporarily.
Okay. So in the plugin, how can we, let's say one of my plugin getting infinite loop exception. How can we handle infinite loop exceptions in plugin? Did you understand my question?
Yes, sir, I do remember that, but I'm not able to recollect exactly. Yes, I got that.
Yeah, by using depth concept,
Yeah,
we
depth
can.
concept. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So what kind of messages we have in the plugin? Like what are all places we can add the triggering actions in plugin?
On create and on update.
What else are there? Retrieve, multiple, associate.
Yeah, right.
Message names we have, right? You have to
Yeah.
mention. So
Okay.
what is the importance of filtering attributes while adding a plugin? There is a filtering
So
attributes property, right? In the plugin registration tool while adding the events. Do you know the purpose?
I'm not sure, sir.
If you want to trigger any plugin on particular field update, we will use the
Oh,
filtering.
oh yeah. So if it is for a create, we can use all the fields. But if
Create
it
it
is
will
for
not helpful. Or it will helpful only for the update scenario.
yeah,
Yeah.
we can use
Uh,
the needed
mm,
fields in that.
yeah. Okay, Subhasa. So that's a good and best of luck. Yeah.